Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having the best Easter Sunday that you can possibly have during this lockdown. And I'm going to go against the grain a little bit because I said I was only going to post out 2 videos on Easter Sunday, as in today, because I recorded the other 2 that are going out live yesterday. But I thought I'd just do a little teaser video and a little bit of an explanation as to where we're going to go from here, what other jobs there is. And yeah, so basically I think we'll take you for a little guided tour of what other things are going to happen to the little Blue ZX going on from here on out. So I'm thinking the best place to probably start, seeing as I'm sat in the car. Don't mind the cat. If there wasn't a grill there, she'd probably poke her head through. But she's there. Anyway, so sorry about the distraction there. The best way to start from here is, I know this passenger side floor is relatively clean and tidy. But based on the rust on the rear... Oh, I've got the dash console in here at the moment. But based on the rust on the rear arches, which you can see just there, and it's... just as bad on the other side as well. I am also a little bit nervous as to what the front arches are like, and considering this rust down here on the driver's side, I have however decided that I'm going to take all this centre steering column out. That bolts from 4 bolts inside the engine bay. That'll be in next video. And in the next video that I do, I'll be removing all this dash console, the wiring will come out, and I am going to very, very carefully remove all this bulkhead sound deadening, because I want, there's no point me saying, oh yeah, there's some rust there, there's some rust in the driver's side footwell, and there's some rust in the rear arches, and not pulling that out and checking behind it, because I've come this far, I may as well take that extra piece out. And obviously, yes, I know I need to take all this out as well and the wiring, but if I've come this far, it's stupid of me and naive of me not to pull the sound deadening out and check underneath it to make sure that it's good underneath that. So that will be in the next video. But to carry on with our little teasers, I'm just going to take you out of the car at the moment, because first thing I'm going to do, just in case the UK weather decides it wants to change, I will be putting these car carpets back in. They've been sitting out in the sun all day, and as a result, this is the front driver's side, and it is still a little bit damp, but it's no longer absolutely saturated. So they will go out again if it's sunny again tomorrow to dry for some more time. Also, if I close the bonnet down and everything, because I haven't got the wiper mechanism and the plastic trim that goes there, as you can see, this cover has got holes in it. This cover will just come off, and like I said, if that wasn't there, my cat would have probably poked her head through. I have decided that I'm going to bag that and pop it back on there just to keep that hole relatively watertight. I'll do that now and I'll bring you back. So it may not be conventional, but it's probably going to work for now as a temporary fix. Just an old carrier bag with no holes in it and an elastic band. If I tuck that into there like so, tuck that into there like so, and then tuck that underneath, I can push that back into its grooves, and that will now stop, if it does decide to rain or anything, that will now stop water getting into the car from that hole. I'm not worried about the little holes that you can see there because they're behind. I'm not worried about that because the bonnet is still attached. So if I put the bonnet down now, I'll show you what I mean. So going over here, you can see down in that gap the carrier bag. So that's where the water would run straight down. I have reopened the bonnet because I realised I've left the wiper mechanism inside here that was fitted. Now, like I said, this is a French wiper mechanism which would go into a French car that way up. But if we was to put it into this car that way up, the bolt holes would not match and the wiper mechanism would be sitting just there, not where it needs to be. So the previous owner did decide that he was going to put it in upside down, like so, which then meant none of the holes would line up and he had to cable tie it in place. So if I now put that alongside the UK one, you can see that the holes are completely in a different place because the French one's upside down. But that UK one, let me just put that over there so it doesn't fall off. The UK one is going to match perfectly with that hole there. It's going into there like so. And those two, that one is going to sit just nicely there. And that one's going to sit just nicely there with our pivot point for the wiper mechanism being in the correct place. This is obviously a second-hand part from a scrapyard car, which I managed to acquire. And as a result, they've just cut it off, but they have left me the plug, so I'll just unplug it there and I'll plug the corresponding wiring in, because that should just plug straight in. But if not, worst case scenario, when I do have power back in the car, I will patch these wires in, but I don't think I need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these parts to one side for now. I'll probably leave them there, to be fair. I'll take you to the back of the van and I'll show you some more teasers. So, resuming this in the back of my little Berlingo, what do we have here? Well, you guys know I've taken interior out, so maybe it's the interior that's come from the ZX. If you are suspecting that, then you'll be completely wrong, and you also might notice the tow bar. This is a tow bar off a second-hand Citroen Berlingo. Oh, Citroen ZX. I obviously said Berlingo because I'm in the back of my Berlingo. If I can find some bolts which are adequate enough, there will be a video of me cleaning this up and painting this, and there'll also probably be a second video of me actually fitting it to my little blue ZX. I don't know if I'll be doing electrics straight away, but based on the fact that I won't need to use this tow bar until the car's on the road, but there will also be a video on doing the electrics as well. But I actually need to do some work on the rear lights first. These are some front seats, actually from a Peugeot 306, so same base platform as the ZX, but not a ZX, because I was originally just going to replace the front seats with a similar interior and then try and do something with the rear seats. But I was lucky enough to be able to find a scrapyard car which is where I got the tow bar from, and I didn't believe that I'd be able to find the correct rear seats, but I have been able to find the correct rear seats for my car, because most of them ZXs have got split folding seats and this has got, just to be typical and be awkward, and you can see there's got all its clips in place, really tidy interior, and yes, it is of a slightly different pattern to the front seats, but I couldn't buy the front seats from the Citroen ZX because they were already gone, so I only had the option of the rear seats. So this is what I meant by the little bit of a tear, but that is it. So all in all, much better condition seats than what was in there, and it's got all its clips as well, like I was showing about them being broken. So that's for the teasers. There might be a little bit more added to this video, but we'll see in a second if I can find some more bits to thingy. But that's it for just for the moment. So, a little bit more of a sneak peek. What will this be, people might guess? Well, people in the know will know what it is, but just for people who don't know, I will tell you. It normally sits just in front of the gear stick, tucked down at the bottom of the centre of the dash console, and when you turn the ZX on with the key, you have to turn the ignition on. These lights will light up. It will light up red at the top. You'll then put your 4-digit code in, and then it'll go green. When that goes green, you will then be able to start the little ZX up that this is in. Now, this has got this system in the white ZX of mine as well, and it works fantastically, and I know what the code is. Now, this in the blue ZX has never been anything more than just a keypad that does nothing. It lights up red, it lights up green, sometimes both lights come on, sometimes it don't. The numbers will illuminate when I put the headlights on, like with the rest of the dash console as well, but it's been bypassed probably because it's stopped working. But if you press every single button seems to work. Like I said independently, it seems to light up when I put the headlights on, and both these red and green lights work fine. So I've got two options, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet, but I'm thinking it may become a project of some sort. It may even go back in the car, and I may have the buttons do something funky, like I might have some fog lights or some interior lights, or I might have I might decide to do electric windows and have these buttons do the windows, for instance, because all four of my windows on that car are windy windows. So I may decide 1 and 4 is up and down for passenger side. I may decide C and S is up and down for driver's side, 2 and 5 is passenger side rear, 3 and 6 is driver's side rear, and then just have some sort of accessories on here. I'm not entirely sure. But I don't know yet, so I think I'll have a think about that. But all I do know is without that keypad working, my car has no immobiliser system. Yes, I've got an aftermarket central locking system, but the only reason I put the aftermarket central locking system in is because I'm lazy. It makes it easier. If I can press the button to unlock my car, it just makes it easier. And like I said in the previous video, that isn't even wired up properly. I wired it up to the central locking system, but I didn't wire it to the indicators or anything. It would just be so I could lock and unlock the car. No notifications from it, no alarm on the car, no nothing. So I'm going to ditch this, and what may happen is this may come out for a project in the future that I play about with non-car related, and I may end up just using the space where this was and putting something like USB sockets in and a couple of window switches in. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So that one is a little teaser, but then also maybe not. But because this isn't working, I am, however, going to install this system. And what this system is, and I'm covering the code up because I don't know if it's had any relevance, because when I bought it, I realised I did get told that there's codes which you have to keep to one side, and it is passive key entry, smart entry. Passive. So what that means is, as long as I've got the key fob on me, when I get within a meter's range of my vehicle, it will automatically unlock, and when I get within a meter away from my vehicle, it will automatically lock back up. So I've just spotted actually something. That is the, on the other side is the security code, which means if I need to contact Radio Wave, I can give them this code and they can send me another key fob that will be automatically programmed to this module. So I'm not going to show you guys that on camera because it's a dedicated code for this system, and for obvious reasons I don't want people knowing that, because the whole point of making my car secure is to keep it secure. But that'll be the main brain of it. I'll find somewhere to put that. Let's just take this lot out. Plenty of wires. None of this is going to be installed until I actually able to test it through install processes. That is the receiver for the passive key. So that's that. And then we've then got here the sensitivity, the shock sensor for the alarm. So that'll have to go somewhere as well, and that'll be wired up. We then have the siren as well. I did at one point, it's a 12 volt 15 watt one tone siren. I did at one point just put these contacts onto a battery just to see how loud it is, and made my poor mum jump, but let's just say she swore about that one, but oh well. This is the passive key, but obviously if it isn't working for some reason, you've still got the unlock, the lock. That's like a siren test or find my car mode. Boot unlock, that one I'm not sure if it'll be set up or not, because we all know in the Citroen world, we all know about the dreaded boot lock on the ZXs. So there may be a boot popper install as well. I don't know yet. This is just like a dummy key. This is literally just a normal central locking key, which also works with the system, but this is like a backup for if that doesn't work. Now, when I said about the code on this code is relevant to this key, because that code will be has to be programmed into here for the automatic detection of me being near the vehicle. When it comes to pressing these buttons and stuff, that's a whole different side of it whatsoever. I don't fully understand how it works, but they were saying to me about that code being for the distance side of things. I don't know if that code has anything to do with anything. No, it doesn't match. And I can't even see on that one. But no, that doesn't match on the tag, so I don't know what that's for, but you've seen that one anyway now, guys. Please don't steal my vehicle if you know what that means. Not that it's going to go anywhere at the moment. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the little sneak peeks of what is entailed for the little blue ZX. There may be other things. I may decide to do a push button start, but I don't see the point in push button start, because you've still got to use the key anyway, because when it comes to MOTing, there needs to be certain standard security devices fitted, and the only way that you would be able to get away from not using the key is by removing the steering lock. Now, if you remove the steering lock on your vehicle, the car will then fail its MOT, because it's under the security of the vehicle. So I don't know, I don't fully understand it, but I know I had a car once before where the steering lock was broken, and I had to replace the steering column just to get it through its MOT, because it needed a steering lock on it. So not a good idea to break your steering lock, plus it also gives it easier access for people to steal it anyway. So if I was to install a push button start, I'd still need the key anyway, so that is one thing I don't see any point in. But there might even be more ideas yet. Like I said, I've touched on the subject of electric windows. I might buy an aftermarket electric windows kit and wire that up. I'm not entirely sure yet, but as you guys can be made, well, basically I can reassure you guys that there is still going to be content of some sort. Because like I said about the tow bar, the interior, I know I've shown you it, but there isn't much I can do about it until we've got the floor done. So like I said, the next video will be me removing the steering column and removing all the sound deadening off the bulkhead, so we can have a look behind there and go hunting to see if there's any more rust. So I'm going to leave this video here. If you like my content, sorry about the sun. Not much I could have shut the curtain, I suppose, but yeah, as I was saying, if you like my content, give us a thumbs up. If you want to know any more about what I'm getting up to, or anything regarding the cars I've got, drop us a comment, or any comments whatsoever. I'll answer as best as I can. And if you subscribe to the channel, don't forget to click the notification bell so you can get all the info of when I upload the next video. And if you want to know what's going on with my channel before people on YouTube know, follow me on Instagram for the little sneak peeks of what I'm getting up to throughout the day. That is the ZX guy as well. So I'll bid you farewell for now, and I will see you in the next video very soon. Bye for now, guys.